G'day guys, it is Ben here from Hunt the Night. Now, what we're going to do today is have a look at how to zero the ThermTec Ares thermal devices. Now this is the same whether it's the dual field of view or the single field of view. Obviously with the single field of view you're only going to do this process once. With the dual field of view we've got to do it twice because we've got to zero both focal planes. So we're just going to step through the menu system and have a look how to do it. So I've set up a couple imaginary targets there. So you can see I'm on my point of aim at the moment, and up there the one to the top left is my point of impact, and we're just going to use that for the representation of this. And you can see down the bottom I'm in my 20mm focal plane, so I'm 1x zoom, I'm on gun profile B, and that little lens there is my 20mm focal lane. So with the Ares, the 360, I can change my focal plane, and now you'll see it's at 60, and we go back out, I'm going to be at 20, and then that's the optical zoom that's in these scopes. So the first thing we do is we go into the menu and we go down to zeroing. And in here at the moment I've got gun Ben. The first time you do this it will say invalid, so you've got to create a rifle. We can call it whatever we want, and for today's purposes we've called it gun Ben. You can see I've got 308 there, it's actually zeroed for my 308, and we select the one that we want to do. We click on the turret button, which is on the side of the turret on the left hand side of the scope. And then we'll scroll down to manual zero. Now you can do auto zeroing, but I haven't really played around with it yet, so I don't know how good it is. Then we get into it, and like a lot of thermal scopes, this has got all the similar type of things. It's got ability to freeze the image, ability to zoom in and change our X and Y coordinates. A little bit with that zooming, you've got to zoom in before you freeze the image, because that will change the ratio of the point of impact. So if you want to zoom in, you do that beforehand. So I can scroll down to zoom, I can click on it, and when I click on it, I now use the scroll of the actual turret to activate the whether the freeze is on and off, which is so much better than having to press a button, because if you press a button to do it, or a button combination, I found that I move the actual unit around, and now that's zeroed. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. We go down to our X coordinate, and we're going to move the reticle over, just like we do with a lot of other one-shot zero systems. And then we go down to our Y coordinate, and we're going to move it up to our point of impact. Okay. Now, there's a key thing to remember now when we do this. And just to show you how fine these increments are, let's just get that bang in the middle. So go up to X here. We'll move it over. Oh, we'll move it over the correct way. There we go. Nice fine increments. When we save this, we've got to do it with the actual save button. If you hold it down and jump out, and this is something we'll fix in the firmware, you'll lose the settings. And we're going to save it on gun C. Okay, we're going to go OK. Now we can't just flick to the 60mm profile and zero those same coordinates. All right, we have to flick to our 60mm profile and shoot the rifle again in order to get a new point of impact. So we're going to pretend this time that our point of impact is up here. Sorry, our point of aim's up this top one, and the point of impact is the bottom one. So same thing, we're going to go down to freeze, and we're going to turn our freeze on, and we're just going to follow the same, hang on, got to back out of that menu when I turn the freeze on, and we're just going to follow the same way of doing things. And you'll see down the bottom I'm still on profile C, and now I'm on 60mm focal length, and it takes a little while to move that reticle over because they're very, very fine increments. We're only talking about moving 1 pixel at a time. So then there's a lot of pixels on the screen, but this just gives us a really fine increment to do. Now I'm just going to go down here, almost there. A little bit more, and say we want it there. We'll bring it back on our X a little. Alright, we're pretty happy with that, okay? Same thing, now we go into save, and we select the same profile C, because it stores the 20 and the 60mm independently of each other. So when we go now into the selection process of our, let me get into the right menu, hang on, of our zero profile, which is up here, and we're on profile C, you can see at the moment we're on 60, we're 41 and minus 57. Now if I change this to 20 mil, we're at 34 or minus 27. So that changes the actual profile storage and gets us back to the 0. And you can see through that translucent little thing the reticle jumping around as it goes to 0 for its focal plane. So guys, that's how you do it. Obviously, when you don't have the dual filter focus, you only need to zero it once. But when you have the dual filter focus scopes, you've got to shoot them twice, okay, and zero them as if you're zeroing two different scopes. Anyway, guys, that's it. Any other questions, shoot us a message. Don't forget to like us, share us, subscribe us, buy something from us. But most of all, tag a vegan.